Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a career path that you might not have heard of yet, and that is the AI Human Collaboration Coach. It's a really fascinating role that seems to be emerging as artificial intelligence becomes more and more integrated into our work lives.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it sits right at that intersection of technology and human interaction. So it's not just about understanding AI, but it's also about understanding how humans and AI can work together effectively.
And we've got some really great sources for this deep dive that we're going to try to unpack here. We have one that dives into the future of AI trainers. We've got another that really lays out this vision for this AI human collaboration coach role. And we've even got one that's just packed with real-world examples of AI human partnerships that are already happening out there in the world.
Yeah. So I think our mission here is to try and figure out what this AI human collaboration coach actually does on a day-to-day basis. What kind of skills do they need? What are the potential benefits? And, let's be honest, what are some of the challenges? And of course, the question that everybody's probably thinking is, could this be my future job?
That's right, maybe. So let's start with the basics. What does this coach actually do?
Well, one of the key things that they do is help organizations define roles. As AI gets more sophisticated, we really need to figure out which tasks are best suited for machines and which ones are better left to us humans. And this coach can help companies make those decisions strategically.
Okay. So it's not just about throwing AI at every problem that comes up. It's about understanding the strengths and limitations of both humans and artificial intelligence.
Exactly. So, for example, AI might be really great at, analyzing massive data sets to identify trends, but it's probably not going to come up with a really innovative marketing campaign or, design a product that actually resonates with human emotions. That's where human creativity and intuition are still absolutely essential.
So the AI human collaboration coach helps companies figure out where that line is, where AI can amplify human capabilities, and where human skills are irreplaceable.
Precisely. And this is where it gets really interesting. The Boost.ai source highlights that AI trainers are already starting to specialize in different areas, like conversation design for chatbots, or the technical integration of AI into existing systems.
Oh, that's interesting. So you could almost imagine that these collaboration coaches might start to specialize as well.
Yeah.
You might have a coach who focuses on AI integration in healthcare, or one who works specifically with financial institutions.
Absolutely. I mean, the potential for specialization within this role is huge. It's not a one-size-fits-all kind of job.
Right. Now, thinking about the skills these coaches would need, our Boost.ai source talks about the importance of both technical expertise and strong communication skills for AI trainers.
And that makes perfect sense, right? This coach needs to be able to speak the language of AI, understand the technology deeply, but also be able to communicate those concepts to people who might not have a technical background.
They're kind of like translators then. Bridging the gap between the complex world of AI and the everyday work that humans do.
That's a great way to put it. And they need to be able to explain not just what the AI is doing, but why it matters, how it impacts people's jobs, and how it can be used ethically and responsibly.
So it's not just about the technical skills.
Yeah.
It's about empathy communication and understanding the human impact of AI.
Absolutely. And the pasted text source really emphasizes this need for continuous learning and adaptation, especially as AI technology evolves so rapidly.
Yeah, we're talking about things like large language models and generative AI, which can seem pretty intimidating to those of us who aren't really immersed in the world of AI.
They are powerful technologies, and this coach needs to be able to stay on top of those developments and figure out how to integrate them into the workplace in a way that benefits both humans and the organization as a whole.
It sounds like a pretty demanding role, but also incredibly rewarding.
It is. And that brings us to the benefits and challenges of actually having an AI human collaboration coach on your team.
Okay. Let's take a look at those.
Well, let's start with those benefits, both the pasted text and ultimate guide. Sources point to some pretty compelling advantages. We're talking increased productivity, better decision-making, and even enhanced creativity when humans and AI actually work together effectively.
So it's not about AI replacing humans, but it's about AI augmenting human capabilities, helping us do our jobs better, and maybe even making work a little bit more enjoyable.
Exactly. Imagine a world where AI takes care of all those tedious, repetitive tasks, freeing us humans up to focus on the more strategic, creative, and interpersonal aspects of our work.
That sounds pretty utopian, but I'm guessing there's some challenges too.
There are, and it's really important to acknowledge those. I think one of the biggest challenges is managing that potential resistance to change. People can be understandably apprehensive about AI, worried about their jobs being replaced, or feeling like they're losing control.
Right. So the AI human collaboration coach would need to be able to address those concerns.
Yeah.
Help people understand that AI isn't a threat, but a tool that can actually empower them.
Absolutely. This coach really needs to be a change management expert, skilled in communication, empathy, and building trust. They need to be able to paint a vision of a future where humans and AI can work together harmoniously, each playing to their strengths.
Our ultimate guide source has some really interesting real-world examples of this kind of collaboration already happening. They talk about AI assisting nurses in hospitals, helping detectives solve crimes, even aiding architects in designing sustainable cities.
Yeah, and those examples really highlight the diversity of this role. The coach's approach would need to be very different depending on the industry and the specific application of AI.
For sure. So let's take the example of nurses working with AI. That sounds amazing. Having AI monitor patient vitals, flag potential issues, and maybe even help with some of those administrative tasks. That could free up nurses to spend more time with patients, providing that human touch that's so essential in healthcare.
It is a powerful application of AI, but it's not without its complexities. What happens if the AI system makes a mistake? How do nurses balance their trust in the technology with their own clinical judgment?
And that's where the AI human collaboration coach would come in, right? They would need to train nurses not only on how to use the AI tools, but also how to think critically about the information that they're getting from those tools.
Exactly. It's about fostering a healthy skepticism, teaching people to question the output of the AI, to understand its limitations, and to know when to trust their own instincts.
And that goes for the detectives working with AI to solve crimes too. Imagine AI sifting through mountains of evidence, connecting dots that humans might miss, even identifying patterns in criminal behavior. It's like having a superpowered detective partner.
It is exciting, but it also raises some important questions. What if the AI system exhibits bias? What if it leads investigators down the wrong path? The coach would need to make sure that detectives understand those risks, that they know how to use the AI responsibly and ethically.
It sounds like this coach has a huge responsibility, not just in terms of training people on how to use AI, but also in shaping how AI is used, ensuring that it's used for good and that it doesn't create unintended consequences.
That's a key insight. This role isn't just about technical expertise, it's about ethical leadership.
Now, we've talked about nurses and detectives, but what about those architects using AI to design sustainable cities? That sounds like it has the potential to really change the world for the better.
It does. Imagine AI helping us optimize building designs for energy efficiency, analyzing traffic patterns to reduce congestion, even modeling the impact of urban development on the environment. The possibilities are pretty incredible.
But again, there are potential pitfalls. What if the AI prioritizes efficiency over livability? What if it designs cities that are technically perfect, but lack that human element, that sense of community and connection?
That's why the human element in this partnership is so crucial. And it's why the role of the AI human collaboration coach is so vital. They need to make sure that human values and priorities are baked into the design and implementation of these AI systems.
So it's not just about teaching humans how to work with AI. It's also about shaping how AI works with humans.
Precisely. And that takes us to some of the more nuanced aspects of this role, like the impact of large language models and generative AI.
So we've talked about AI and humans working kind of like side by side. But the Boost.ai source mentions these things called large language models and generative AI, and those seem like they could really shake things up.
Yeah, they're definitely powerful tools that are changing the way we think about AI's capabilities. A large language model can basically process and understand huge amounts of text, and then use that knowledge to generate all sorts of new content. Everything from writing articles to composing music to answering your questions in a really comprehensive way.
So how does this impact the role of the AI human collaboration coach? Does it make their job easier or does it make it harder?
That's a great question, and the answer is probably a little bit of both. On the one hand, these LLMs can automate some of the more tedious tasks that AI trainers currently handle, things like creating training data for chatbots or writing initial drafts of responses, and that frees up the coach to really focus on the more strategic and human-centric aspects of the role.
So the coach almost becomes less of a technician and more of a strategist.
Yeah, and I think relationship architect is a really good way to describe it. The coach is really responsible for designing and nurturing the relationship between humans and AI within an organization. They need to make sure that both sides are communicating effectively, understanding each other's strengths, and working together to achieve shared goals.
That sounds like a very challenging but fascinating role. especially as these LLMs and generative AI continue to evolve.
Absolutely. The coach needs to be constantly learning and adapting. They need to stay on top of all the latest developments in AI and be able to translate those advancements into practical applications within their organizations.
Makes you wonder what kind of training or background somebody would need to become an AI human collaboration coach.
It's a good question, and one that universities and training programs are really going to have to figure out. It's likely going to require a blend of technical skills, communication skills, and a deep understanding of human behavior and organizational dynamics.
It sounds like we're just at the beginning of this journey, and the role of the AI human collaboration coach is likely to evolve significantly in the years to come.
Oh, no doubt about it. And while we can't predict the future with certainty, one thing is clear: AI is here to stay. Learning to collaborate with it effectively is going to be absolutely essential for success in the 21st century.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the AI human collaboration coach, we leave you with this thought. How do we create a future where humans and AI work together, not just efficiently, but ethically and purposefully, to create a better world for everyone?
It's a question that deserves careful consideration, and one that will shape not just the future of work, but the future of humanity.